Today we're diving into the fascinating world of chemistry. Get ready to explore the tiniest particles that make up everything around us. We're talking about elements, molecules, and compounds. These are the building blocks of matter, and understanding them is crucial for acing your chemistry exams. Before we go any further, I have a challenge for you. Are you ready for a quick quiz to test your knowledge? Don't worry, it's coming up soon. But first, let's make sure you have all the information you need. We're going to break down each of these concepts in a way that's easy to understand and remember. So buckle up and get ready for an exciting journey into the world of atoms and how they combine. Let's start with the basics. Elements. Think of elements like the ingredients in your favorite recipe. Each element is a pure substance that cannot be broken down into simpler substances. They are the fundamental building blocks of everything around us. Elements are made up of tiny particles called atoms. Atoms are incredibly small, but they have a big job. Each element has its own unique type of atom, and these atoms determine the properties of that element. For example, gold is an element known for its shiny, yellow appearance. This is because gold atoms are different from the atoms that make up other elements, like oxygen or hydrogen. Each element has its own special characteristics. Elements are everywhere. The air we breathe is mostly nitrogen and oxygen. The water we drink is made of hydrogen and oxygen, and the food we eat contains a variety of elements, including carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Some elements, like gold and silver, are prized for their beauty and rarity. Others, like iron and aluminum, are essential for building structures and machines. And some elements, like sodium and potassium, play important roles in our bodies. The periodic table is a handy chart that organizes all the known elements. It's a valuable tool for chemists, and it can be helpful for students too. By understanding the periodic table, you can learn a lot about the properties and behavior of different elements. Now let's talk about molecules. Molecules are formed when two or more atoms bond together. These bonds are like tiny links that hold the atoms together. The atoms in a molecule can be the same or different. For example, a molecule of oxygen gas is made up of two oxygen atoms bonded together. On the other hand, a molecule of water is made up of two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom bonded together. Molecules come in all shapes and sizes. Some are simple, like the examples we just discussed. Others, like DNA, are incredibly complex and contain thousands of atoms bonded together in intricate patterns. Section 5. Common molecules and their importance. Just like elements, molecules play vital roles in our world and within our own bodies. Water, or H2O, is essential for life as we know it. It makes up a large percentage of our bodies and is involved in countless biological processes. Now, carbon dioxide, or CO2, is another important molecule. Plants use it during photosynthesis to produce energy, and we exhale it when we breathe. However, too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere can contribute to climate change. Other common molecules include glucose, or C6H12O6, the sugar our bodies use for energy, and proteins, which are large, complex molecules that perform a wide variety of functions in living organisms. Section 6. Compounds, a bit more complex. Now let's move on to compounds, which are a fascinating and essential part of chemistry. A compound is a type of molecule that is formed when two or more different elements combine chemically. This combination results in a substance that has entirely different properties from the individual elements that make it up. In other words, a compound is always a molecule, but a molecule is not always a compound. This distinction is crucial in understanding the complexity of chemical substances. The atoms in a compound are held together by chemical bonds, just like in molecules. These bonds can be covalent, ionic, or metallic, depending on the nature of the elements involved. However, in a compound, these bonds involve atoms of different elements. This diversity in bonding leads to the formation of a wide variety of compounds with unique characteristics. This sharing or transfer of electrons leads to the formation of a new substance with properties distinct from the original elements. The process can result in compounds that are more stable than the individual elements. For instance, table salt, which we know as sodium chloride, or NaCl, is a compound formed from the reaction of the element sodium, or Na, with the element chlorine, or Cl. This reaction is a classic example of how compounds are formed. Sodium is a soft, silvery metal, while chlorine is a poisonous gas. Both elements are highly reactive and dangerous in their pure forms, but when they combine, they form the harmless, edible compound we use to season our food. This transformation highlights the incredible changes that can occur when elements form compounds. Section 7. Compounds we encounter every day. Compounds are all around us. Water, or H2O, which we discussed earlier as a molecule, is also a compound because it is formed from the elements hydrogen, or H, and oxygen, or O. Carbon dioxide, or CO2, is another example of a common compound formed from carbon, or C, and oxygen, or O. Other familiar compounds include baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3, which we use in baking, and vinegar, or acetic acid, CH3CuO, which adds a tangy flavor to our food. Medications, plastics, and even the colors in our clothes are all made possible by different compounds. Understanding compounds is essential in many fields, including medicine, agriculture, and manufacturing. Chemists are constantly developing new compounds with specific properties to solve problems and improve our lives.
Section 8. Quiz time. Test your knowledge. It's time to put your knowledge to the test and see how much you've absorbed. Ready for that quiz I promised? Grab your pens and get ready to dive in. Let's see what you've learned about elements, molecules, and compounds. These are fundamental concepts that form the basis of chemistry. Remember, this is just for fun, but it will help you solidify your understanding of these important concepts. Don't stress, just do your best. 1. What is the smallest particle of an element that retains the chemical properties of that element? Think carefully. A molecule, B, an atom, C, a compound, D, a proton. 2. Which of the following is an example of a molecule? Remember, molecules are made up of 2 or more atoms bonded together. A, gold, Al, B, water, H2O, C, sodium, Na, D, chlorine, Cl. 3. What is the key difference between a molecule and a compound? This is a crucial distinction in chemistry. A molecule is always a compound. B, a compound is always a molecule. C, molecules are made of the same type of atom, while compounds are made of different types of atoms. D, compounds are found in nature, while molecules are created in laboratories. Think you know the answers? Take a moment to review your choices. We'll reveal them at the end of the next section. No peeking. Stay tuned and keep your curiosity alive.
Section 9. Why this matters for your exams. Now you might be thinking, this is all very interesting, Bill, but why is it so important for my exams? Well, understanding elements, molecules, and compounds is fundamental to success in chemistry. These concepts form the basis for everything else you'll learn in chemistry, from chemical reactions to the properties of matter. When you understand how atoms combine to form molecules and compounds, you can predict how substances will interact with each other. You'll also be able to understand complex chemical formulas and equations, which are essential for solving problems and answering exam questions. So if you want to ace those chemistry exams, make sure you have a solid grasp of these fundamental concepts. Section 10. Keep exploring the world of chemistry. The world of chemistry is full of fascinating discoveries waiting to be made. By understanding the building blocks of matter elements, molecules, and compounds, you've opened the door to a universe of knowledge. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop learning. The more you delve into the world of chemistry, the more you'll appreciate the incredible complexity and beauty of the world around us. Remember, chemistry is not just about memorizing facts and formulas. It's about understanding the world at its most fundamental level. It's about unraveling the mysteries of matter and discovering the secrets of the universe.
Section 11. Elements, molecules, and compounds, your keys to success. This section is designed to give you a solid foundation in understanding the basic building blocks of chemistry. So, there you have it. We've covered some essential concepts that are fundamental to your success in chemistry. We've explored the fascinating world of elements, molecules, and compounds, delving into how they interact and form the basis of all matter. We've learned that elements are the pure, fundamental building blocks of matter, each with its own unique properties. These elements are listed in the periodic table, which is a crucial tool for any chemist. We've discovered that molecules are formed when 2 or more atoms bond together, creating new substances with different properties. and that compounds are a special type of molecule made up of different elements. These compounds have unique characteristics that are different from the individual elements they are composed of. And we've seen how these tiny particles play vital roles in our world and within our own bodies. From the air we breathe to the food we eat, elements, molecules, and compounds are everywhere. Remember, understanding these concepts is crucial for success in chemistry. So keep studying, keep asking questions, and always be curious about the world around you. Never stop exploring the amazing world of science. The more you learn, the more you'll discover how interconnected everything is. Oh, and before we go, here are the answers to the quiz 1. Be an atom. 2. Be water, H2O. These answers will help reinforce your understanding of the material. 3. B. A compound is always a molecule. This distinction is important as you continue your studies in chemistry. Congratulations on completing this journey into the fundamentals of chemistry. You've taken an important step towards mastering this fascinating subject. Keep up the great work, and remember that every bit of knowledge you gain brings you closer to success.